Hi, welcome to ZabiCore channel. So in this video, we'll discuss Snowflake versus traditional data warehouses. And I'll also show you practically why we have to use this Snowflake and when we can use the traditional data warehouses. So what is traditional data warehouses? So in simple terms, we can say traditional data warehouse is the on-premises system and we can store structured data and it requires physical servers and manual maintenance. What is data warehouse then? So data warehouse is the centralized system and we can store our data in that system and we can start analyzing the data. So imagine we have one organization. So that organization can maintain multiple databases and we cannot use the databases. Same databases are using by the applications. So whenever you use the same database and you start analyzing the data, your application will run slow. So what we can do, we can extract the data and we can load all our data into data warehouses and we can analyze the data. And these are the some example data warehouses. We have Oracle, Teradata. So in market, there are many data warehouses available. So depends on your requirement, we can select any one of the data warehouses and we can start using the analyzing the data. What is Snowflake? Snowflake is the cloud-based platform. It will store extremely large amount of data and we can also store structured data and semi-structured data. So here, no need to install anything, no need of any hardware required here. Just we can create the Snowflake account and we can start using the Snowflake platform. And these are the main features we have in the Snowflake. So auto scaling, time travel, zero copy cloning. So all these are the Snowflake features. So I'll do one separate video and I'll explain practically all these features. So now just focus on the Snowflake versus traditional data warehouses. And these are the key differences. So infrastructure, scaling, performance, cost, and maintenance. So in traditional data warehouse, we need manual servers. But in Snowflake, just we can create the account and we can start using the Snowflake platform. But in scaling, so we need manual scaling in traditional data warehouse. But in Snowflake, we have auto scaling option. So we can use that auto scaling option. No need of any manual scaling. Performance. So traditional data warehouses run slow queries. Whenever you have complex queries, whenever you run complex queries on extremely large amount of data, your query may take some more time to get the result. But in Snowflake, queries are run faster. Coming to cost. So cost, we have fixed cost in the traditional data warehouses. But in Snowflake, it's not like that. So whenever you use the server, we have to pay the amount. So in Snowflake, we have to pay the credits. So we'll discuss that credit part in separate. Okay. Maintenance. So in traditional data warehouse, we need database administrator needed to manage to handle the everything. But in Snowflake, we have managed services like suppose we can take one example, like suppose if you want to upgrade your system in traditional data warehouse, we need administrator to upgrade the system. But in Snowflake, it will automatically upgrade and it will automatically install the security patches. So when to use what? So whenever you have less amount of data, we can just prefer the traditional data warehouses. Whenever you have extremely large amount of data and you need to analyze in near real time, so we can select the Snowflake. So let's discuss the real time scenario. So we have here we can take Amazon handles millions of orders every day. So if they use normal traditional data warehouses, so whenever the customers, like whenever they provide some offers, so at that time many customers can log in at the same time. The server will be overloaded and your application also run slow. And some customers may not place the orders due to that server overload. But in Snowflake, it's not like that. We have auto scaling option. So depends on the load, it will auto scale the servers. So demo. So infrastructure scaling, performance, cost, and time travel. So in infrastructure, so in traditional data warehouse, you have to install the server, and everything will be managed by the physical server. So you need to manage everything. But in Snowflake, just you can create the account using the Gmail, and we can start using the Snowflake platform. So next we have scaling. So as we discussed in previous slide, so in data warehouse, we have to manual scale. But in Snowflake, we have auto scaling option. We have two auto scaling options like standard and econo. So depends on your requirement, we can select any one of them. So performance, Snowflake is much faster than the traditional data warehouses. So cost. So as we discussed in the previous slide, cost pay as you use. So whenever you use the server, you have to pay only that particular time. Here, no fixed cost, but in the traditional data warehouse, cost is fixed. So time travel option. So Snowflake, we have a time travel option. So in simple terms, time travel means whenever some deletes or updates happen unexpectedly, we can go back and see what is the data. But in traditional data warehouse, we don't have that option. So let's see one small demo how this time travel works in Snowflake and how we can achieve this in the traditional data warehouses. So let's open this Snowflake page. Yeah. So you can observe. So right side we have Snowflake database and the left side we have Oracle database. So let's create the table in Snowflake, and we will also insert the two records, dummy records into our Snowflake table, sales table. So let's see, we have two records are successfully inserted. The same way, let's create the table. Let's see whether we have already created or not. Okay, table is not created. So let's create the table first. So let's insert the records and we'll see we have data. So let's commit it. So using this commit function, we can save all our changes. Okay, so let's update something here. So let's update sales table set. So I want to update the amount column to 200. So where ID equal to 1. So let's update and let's see whether it is updated or not. See, updated. So let's delete the one record. So delete from table where ID equal to 2. So one record is updated and another record is deleted in the sales table. You can see. Okay. Let's do some changes in the Oracle side also. So let's update, let's save changes. Okay. Now we'll also update the same thing and we'll also delete the same thing. So we have two records. We can see two records we have. So let's update the ID equal to 200. So it's updated. So let's say ID 1 is updated to 200 and let's delete the second ID. So second ID is also deleted from the database. So let's use the time travel function in the Snowflake page and we'll go back and see what is the data like 3 minutes back or 2 minutes back. So I'll do one separate video completely how this time travel works. So right now I'm showing one small demo here. Okay. So select star from sales art. We have to use the offset function. So offset arrow mark. So I need to go to 1 minute back. So let's execute this. So 1 minute back, there is no changes. Same data is there. So let's go to 2 minutes back. So 2 minutes back, we are getting all the data. So let's query the current table. So in the current table, we have only one record. The two ID one is the 200. But when I go back 2 minutes, I can see all the data. I can see all the data. See ID1 and ID2. ID1 is the 1000 and ID2 is the 2000. So this is the time travel. So using this offset, we can go back and see what is the data. But in normal traditional data warehouses, we don't have that option. But you think we have rollback option. So rollback option works only before the commits. So let's do rollback. Rollback. So when you roll back, so you'll get these two records. You will not, let's run, let's go. So it will update the all the things. But when you commit, after doing changes, when you commit, you will not get those changes. So let's update again. So let's delete the record again. And let's see, we have only one record. So let's commit it. So now I committed. Previously, I have not committed. So that's why these two records are came. So after doing some changes, I save this using the commit option. So when you roll back, so before rollback, let's see, we have one record. So let's roll back. So rollback completed. So let's query. See, still we are getting only one record. So this is the problem with the rollback function. So it will work before commits. When you commit it, so changes will be saved. You'll get the same data. You cannot go back and travel. But in Snowflake, it's not like that. We can go back and see. Let's go back and see. Let's see. It's almost 2 minutes completed. So let's go back and 4 minutes and see. We are getting exact data. Whatever we have in this before 4 minutes, we are getting same data. And we can also query the current data. So current data, we have only one record. So using this offset, we can go back and see the data. So I'll create one separate video on time travel. So right now only focus on this Snowflake versus traditional data warehouses. I hope you understand this Snowflake versus traditional data warehouses. In the next video, we'll discuss Snowflake architecture. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to ZabiCore channel. Thank you.